Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and we're recording now. So, like I was saying, the Army Cool program on our side of the house is more or less a repository for all of the credentials that soldiers are eligible to pursue. There's over 2,000 credentials and licensures in there, everything from your CompTIA A plus all the way up to commercial airline pilot and many things in between that soldiers have the opportunity to go in and pursue. When a soldier finds a credential in there that they like, they have the opportunity to review the credentialing body, review the exam requirements to sit for that certification. And when they say, yes, this is what I want to pursue, they will submit a funding request, a CA request, as we call it, the credentialing assistance request, and they will request funding for that course. Now, you as a vendor, what they would do is they're going to reach out to you first and say, hey, I was looking on Army Cool. I found this credential that I was interested in. I went in and saw that you are an approved vendor to offer this credential and licensure, and I would like to get a customized price quote from you so I can start the process. You would then provide them with a quote for the credential that they're looking to pursue, as long as that credential is one listed on your site in the AI portal for them to be able to see, as well as that credential is approved on Army Cool. Um, Once you do that and you verify and you say, yep, this is something that we offer, here's a customized quote with your name on it, our company name, the total price of the quote, of the course you're looking at going after, the name of the quote, and then at a minimal, an expiration date for when the quote expires. You're going to make sure that information is listed on the quote for them. You're going to provide them that quote, and then the soldier's going to start their funding process. When they go through the process right now, you'll monitor your AI portal screen, and I'll take a quick pause there. Do all three of you have access to the AI portal so far? Have you created accounts in the AI portal? Outstanding, good. You'll be able to see in your AI portal screen where it says invoices. It'll tell you that individuals are awaiting to have their invoice done. You'll be able to go in and download the authorization letter. The authorization letter on there will have a credit card number that you as a vendor can run. After you run that credit card number, you're going to upload the receipt from that transaction into that member's file. And that way the finance team knows that everything's good to go there and the soldier can begin that course at that time. Remember, soldiers cannot start a course, period, without the funding being taken care of first. We are transitioning to a new funding method called GFIBs that will be hopefully taking effect by the end of 2025 at the latest. We don't know if it's going to happen sooner or closer to the end of that time frame. Still working out some kinks there, but when it's ready, it's actually going to kind of cut out that middleman process on the funding part, and it's going to send the payment directly to the bank account that you have listed, assigned to your cage code in sam.gov. So it's going to streamline the process a little better, and we think it's going to make it a faster process for soldiers to pursue. So now that the soldier's been paid for, they can start their course or they can start the exam. If you offer exam vouchers, they'll come to you, they'll take that item. At the end, you as a vendor need to upload their results. If you do not have access to provide the results, say that you go through CompTIA or you were to go through Pearson View or something, and you do not readily have those results available, you do need to provide that soldier with a certificate of completion. That way they can submit that in on their behalf to have their goal closed out, or that phase of their goal closed out. So that's the elevator speech part on Army CA. Did I miss anything there, Sophia?
Nope. That was a really good overview. Thanks.
Okay. Um, so again, that's a quick overview of how vendors how you're going to play as a vendor. Again, you're going to receive that pay, you're going to provide them that quote, you're going to receive the payment, you're going to offer the training or the examination. At the end, you're going to provide the results so the loop can be closed out. So with that overview and that brief introduction to Army CA and the Army Cool side as well, we are definitely open to taking your questions. I don't know if we lost Rachel.
We did. She had texted me. She let me know earlier she's been having intermittent issues, so I'm sure she'll be back in as soon as she can.
Perfect. So you're more than welcome to fire away and we can get your questions answered.
Cool. Heather, do you want to start? I have questions, but I can wait.
Sure. I'm in the accounting department, so my question relates more to payment. If we have a student drop or let's say they're in the middle of the program and they drop, how is that something that should be handled? Is it something that we need to reach out to you to verify before actually doing a drop and requesting a refund, or what would be the process on something like that?
That's a great question. So the first thing, if a soldier has to drop for any reason, they need to contact our side of the house first.
Okay.
Do not process refunds or anything unless you've heard from us that we need to do so. If a soldier runs into a situation where, hey, I'm in the middle of this course, but I just got deployment orders and I need to extend out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sophia.
Sorry. There is a slight change to that. The soldier is supposed to notify you and us at the same time, letting us both know that they want to withdraw from the course. And then at that point, you know, if you feel that there's a refund that needs to be, that you can refund, you know, you're absolutely welcome to, or you can stand by and wait for our request to refund, because we do send an email that requests, you know, refunds if that soldier submits a withdrawal. But there are, yeah, so that was a slight change that just took place. So, yeah, you don't have to, they can absolutely go to you for the request to withdraw.
Okay, so if I'm understanding that right, the soldier will contact you and us with the withdrawal request, and then you will send something out to us requesting a refund if it's necessary.
Correct. Right.
Okay.
If there's a valid reason for them to withdraw, yes, we will request a refund at that time.
Okay.
There,
What if it is a anomaly situation? Is there someone that we can have as a point of contact to ask any questions to say, hey, what is the best way to handle this, or something along those lines?
that would be all of us that are on the line. So myself, Russell, David, and Dottie. She wasn't able to attend this meeting, but she, I know she's on the email. So absolutely just reach out to us and we will answer your questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Moving it over to you, Andrew.
Okay, well, thank you. And I'd like to follow up that question. So now with the update that a soldier's supposed to let both of us know at the same time, that's how we would find out, through the soldier, it sounds like. But you know, in terms of like actually dropping them, we would need confirmation from you. I asked this as a, you know, because we've had issues lately where we just didn't know that the soldier had withdrawn and their courses remain there, and we're emailing them and they're saying they've dropped, and we're just left kind of confused. So is it only through the soldier that we would find out that that they have withdrawn?
No. Sometimes, and again, it's a new process right now. So if the soldier contacts you, great. You can let us know, and maybe they didn't contact us. You can just let us know, like, hey, we got this request to withdraw. And then we'll follow up with that situation in Army Ignited with the soldier. If the soldier just notifies us but doesn't notify you all, and says, I want to withdraw, once they submit their request for withdrawal, if it's a valid withdrawal, I will reach back out to you all and say, hey, the soldier withdrew for valid reasons. Please refund the unused amount. There's a specific email, it's in the slides, I believe, if you have those, how that process works when it comes to refunds.
I'm not sure which slides you're referring to, honestly. I'd be willing to bet I have them, but I'm not sure which ones you're referring to.
Just from the vendor info session. If you
Oh,
all
okay.
can see the chat, I will drop them in there.
Okay, yeah, I'll just copy that link and take it from there. Thanks. Okay. But if there's no refund, would we find out anywhere? Because I had asked this question and we just don't, it said that we would receive, well, there was some confusion, quite honestly. So if there's no refund involved and the student doesn't reach out to us, do we find out anyway?
No, you probably don't, because, you know, if we enter a grade of W, you should be able to see that W. If you can't, if you can't see it, then yeah, unfortunately, if they fall off of your list or whatever, then they've withdrawn. But that should be a policy that you have set as well with the SODR, that they should notify you if they do withdraw. Or if you just don't see anything, you can always ask us. We'll look them up and just check to see what the status of that SODR is.
Okay, if they have withdrawn with or without a refund, once it's processed on your end, they'll disappear off of the submit grades button. I deal with a lot of the grade submitting the grades. So if they're not on there, that's probably where I would if I'm looking for them and I don't see them, chances are that's what's happened.
Yeah, if they don't appear in your queue at all, that means one of us has added a grade in some way, right? I don't believe you all can see them. But again, I can't see from your view either. So I don't know 100% sure that they completely are gone from your list. What do you see? Is that what happens? Like you're looking for somebody that you at one point were had in the class and they no longer appear in the system?
Well, there's I just found out an example. Let's see, who was it? There's a student drop request right now, actually. If for David Brown or G David Brown. So I can actually look that. I do have AI portal open right now. So I'm just kind of going into there. But then it's like trying to figure out which one they were actually under, because it's split up into the different groups, of course. But so like I was looking a different one. I was looking for Michael McCulloch recently, and when I went into submit missing grades, he's just not there. I was like, okay,
Can
well,
you
where
can you spell his name?
McCulloch, MCC, where'd it go? ULLOUGH.
So, oh gosh, maybe that's not the correct. Okay. Do you know what his rank was or is?
I don't.
Of course, there's 12 in here. Um,
I could probably.
you have an email address,
I
middle
could do
initial.
that right now.
That way we can test this out right here.
Right. Oh my, so many McCullochs. What was his first name? Michael. His email address was, I'd share my screen too, but it's @Woods Michael. So ATWOODS Michael @Gmail.
ATWOOD.
Yeah, S @Woods.
Email at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Nope. All right. That's not a good student. The only problem is if they didn't give us like, do you have a case number or anything?
A case number with you? No. I mean, on our
I
side.
I I got him, Sophia.
Okay. Who is it? What's the case number?
4822522.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So in this case, in this case, this soldier withdrew. So do you see them in your queue?
I don't now, but I don't know when he dropped off. I've been trying to work out a system where, because it gets updated so regularly, um, so I'd have to go back to past ones, uh, just to track him down. And he came to my attention because he had an incomplete, he was still registered in his courses. And what we do is on a weekly basis, we run a report. And if they're incomplete in their most recent course, because each training is going to comprise, well, most often each training is going to comprise like 5 different courses, something like that. So we reach out if they have an incomplete in that because they need to complete it in order to complete the training. Um, so I was reaching out and then I'm looking around and I can't find him anywhere. And that's why I'm just like, okay, so what's his story? Because we'll keep reaching out to him and then until he comes back and says, "Oh, I withdrew," but then the only confirmation I really have, unless I reach out to you, is that he's not showing up anymore.
Well, yeah, he said that this was back in September. September 11th is when he requested to withdraw, or the 1st of, I'm sorry, the 1st of September. He did that. So yeah, okay then. So if you see that they no longer are in your queue, that means that one of us has added a grade into that soldier's account, which would mean he would not be able to show up in your grades queue. So you'll know at that point the soldier must have withdrawn.
Okay. And
And so,
in that,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I might simply just send a quick email to confirm, kind of thing, once I see that they're not showing up there. Okay. So thank you for that, because that was kind of a lot just to understand that completely. I do have a few questions on something else, unless there was something else you thought I should know there.
No, actually, you helped us with confirming that they do drop off from your view. So that's a good thing for all of us.
Right? I'm glad it's
I
like, I
think
don't know.
something that'll just help us out as well. And we'll push this out to our other vendors as well. As if you see something that looks crazy, just shoot us a message so we can cross verify. And that way we're all on the same page of music.
Sure. And when you say, should we use your email addresses, which I know are in the meeting invite? The only other email address I have to reach out for help is that really long one that I don't remember off the top of my head. That's where I've been reaching out for more general questions.
Our group box. It's our group box, but you're fine to email us. Just when it comes to vendors, you all can email us directly. We ask that you don't give our emails out to the soldiers, right? Because they're supposed to go in Army Ignited, but you all are more than welcome to email all of us when you have those kind of questions.
I completely appreciate that and completely understand not sharing your emails with the soldiers. Promise. We don't want our personal email shared either, so it makes sense. So one of my questions, as I said, I do a lot of the I take care of the entering grades. So just to try to understand this, what happens if a student is near the end of their term? Do they get any notifications from you, or is it like they set? Because I'm still, well, I have a few questions about it, so I'll just do one at a time. So do they get any notifications when they're near the end of their term?
So soldiers do get notifications through the Army Ignited system that they have grades that are missing or coming due. They do get that message and it's recorded in their files in Army Ignited. What we recommend is if you have a soldier comes through a class and they've completed the class, uh, just try to get those grades updated within 10 business days after they're done with the course, just to let us know, hey, this soldier did complete or they did not complete. That way, the soldier may still contact us and say, hey, I don't know if the vendor updated my results, whatever. But most of the time when I go in there or when David goes in there and we're looking at grades, a lot of them are already filled out from vendors that they've already done it. And the soldier just doesn't see the grade complete. But they'll sometimes send us they will send us their completion certificate as well, just to cross verify it. It kind of helps that out too.
Okay. Do you know about, so if let's say they have their term is set to end, whatever, November 30th. Do you know about when they get notifications? Because I'm trying to figure out how to best support them from our perspective as well. Like let them know, hey, your term is ending and you still have courses that are going to be scheduled after your term ends. So I'm just trying to
Uh, Go ahead.
uh, I'm basically just, well, I pretty much was going to say I'm just really trying to put it together so that we're giving them the most notification on our end that works well with what you're doing.
So here's something that I recommend. This is from me and then maybe from the whole team as well. But this is what I recommend. A soldier, unless they are getting ready to get out of the service, have 1 calendar year from their start date to complete their training. A lot of times a soldier will go into the system and they'll put the training is done in a week or a month. And that's sometimes nowhere near the case because they need a lot more time as vendors, and this will definitely help out on the quote. This is why we say that expiration date, putting in the 1 year from the start date, letting the soldier know when you guys are doing your quotes, hey, make sure you utilize your whole year time frame while doing this, because life happens. You get orders. Hurricanes come from out of nowhere and run rampant on your base. Things happen in life that you may not be prepared for. But if you go and you set yourself up to have a course complete in 2 weeks that normally takes everyone else 6 to 8 months to complete, you're doing nothing but hurting yourself. So this is where we've kind of told vendors, hey, just let them know when you're setting this out, your start date is projected at this date, but make sure you're giving yourself at least a full year to complete. That way, you as a vendor knows if they're coming up on that year time frame, they're not going to get extended past that year mark, unless there's like just something completely crazy that happens and Sophia approves that. But on 99.9% of the time, if they're reaching that 1 year mark and they haven't completed what they're supposed to do, then they're going to get recouped on our end for that. And that the vendor's not going to be responsible for, it's going to be the soldier.
That's super helpful because I've wondered, is there any advantage for them setting their term to less than 1 year? Because when I
No.
see, thank you, because when I
And
see,
that
it makes it
only
easy,
reason there would be an advantage is if, hey, they're getting out of the service in 6 months and they only have 6 months they can put in the system. If we understand that then, but if they have time still in their contract and they can use that the whole year time frame, it's smarter for them to put in the whole year than to put in for a couple of weeks and run the risk of being recouped.
that makes so much sense. And so I've emailed a few people saying like, hey, some of them have set their term for like 3 months. And I can see that. And I'm just like, you're coming up towards the end of the term. You need to reach out to Army Ignited and request a longer term. Is that accurate? Like that
That's
is
absolutely the way to go. Yes.
okay. That's
Because
what
we have sometimes where soldiers will say, well, I talked to such and such vendor and they said that I have up to a year to complete this. That's great. But when you did your funding request, you only did your funding request for 3 months. So
right.
you need to request to have it extended or to head that off at the beginning and just request the year at the beginning if they have the time.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to take back to our enrollment team, but just to put out there's like get them to do the full year. Just it will help completions without question. Um, and if they do reach out to extend their term, like I've suggested some people do, how long does that take to show up on our side? How long is that I mean, if I start telling people, "Hey, you have a month and there's no way you can do it because you for whatever reason," um, and they reach out, is a month enough time, or how long does that actually take
Are you saying a month enough time for them to extend or to do the initial request?
to extend?
Um, if they've contacted you and they feel that they can get it completed in a month, they can reach out to us and request an extension for up to a month. But we truly see on our side, especially when we're going through our messages, that most soldiers are requesting to extend to that 1 year mark time frame because they've realized, oh man, I didn't give myself enough time and I'm not going to have enough time to complete this.
Yeah, right. Oh, and I appreciate that. What I was trying to ask, I'm sorry, is so I have to report the grades within 60 days of the term ending, correct?
Correct.
Right. So if and honestly, I have dragged my feet on some of them just because I know I have 60 days and they're close to completing. So I'm like, okay, but let's say they're right up on the term. I'm just trying. How am I trying to ask this? I apologize. How quickly can they update their term to that full year?
They just need to send us a message in Army Ignited and request it, and a member from our team can go in, and as long as they've got the time to be able to continue in service, they can be extended.
Okay, because it's one of those things that okay, because I also know I'm going to have to submit their grades, and following that line of thought, if they come to the end of their term as they've set, they haven't gone the full year, but whatever, I have to mark it with an F if they're not correct, if they're not complete. Could they still do anything with that, or they just does our connection end at that point once we put in the pass or the fail?
Sophia, do you want to take that one?
Apologize. Could you please repeat that question?
Sure. So if a student, a soldier student, if I have to mark them as pass or fail, could they still reach out and extend their term? Because we'll get, and I'll just be referring them over to Army Ignited. But I guess I'm just asking, can they do anything once we update their grade to pass or fail?
If, let's just say you entered an F and then they came to you and said, hey, can I extend? Because that's part of the policy. They must reach out to you and say, is it possible for me to extend? Then they can ask us like, hey, the vendor said they're able to extend and they can request it. If they haven't already requested a year and they have some time left, we will go ahead and honor that request if they meet all of the criteria for an extension. And then you would let, if they added that F, or if you added that F, then and they said, hey, the vendor said I could do it. We would reach out to you and say, hey, are you sure you're good with extending because you added the F? If you say, yes, we're good with extending, we'll remove the F and allow them to continue.
And at that point, it would show back up in AI portal for us.
That's a possibility. That's another thing I'm not 100% sure on whether it shows up. I don't believe it shows up if I delete a grade out. So actually let's try it.
What is the
That would put
turnaround?
someone in an F.
What is the turnaround time on an extension request?
It just depends on how many emails. It could be within a week or it could be within a couple of days, right? Sometimes we get like, in our box, we could get 400 to 500 emails within a week's time frame, and you have to try to get through all of those. But if it's not like that, then it could take only a few days, right? So do you have another student that you gave a grade to that I could look up?
That I
Give me somebody
recently.
with a name, yeah, a name that isn't common.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to submitted grades right now because I just did it the other day. And it would be great if I found someone who I put in as an F.
Or even a P, doesn't matter. I can
Yeah.
change it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
change it and then
I'm gonna get you a good oh, there we go. The first name is Kashina. The last name is Smith, but first name's unusual enough. So Cashina, last name Smith.
C-H-I,
I'm sorry, Cashina.
all right, you gave her a P. I'm about to delete it out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to update it.
Cool.
All right. Now refresh your page.
You got it. And choose credentialing assistance.
See if it shows up as needing a grade.
I can say not yet. How's that? There's no.
Maybe if you could log out and log back in, maybe.
Oh, don't worry, it'll kick me out in a second or two, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who gets kicked out all the time. Come on, okay. I think the most annoying one is when I log in and it instantly makes me log in again. Like I don't even see a screen before it does that. Come on. Isn't it alphabetize it? There we go. Okay, so it's not there.
Here, she no longer is in your queue.
Yeah, but I am checking. Do you show? I'm checking active credentialing assistance as opposed to reserve or guard. Should I be
Both.
checking?
Guard. Mhm.
It was guard. Oh, that's why. I'm sorry. Should have asked that first. And she's not there.
Gone. Ah, okay. So it disappears. So in that situation, if it disappears, I'm going to add the P right back to her account. If it disappears like that from your queue, you just, basically the soldier is going to have to send us the certificate of completion, right? So that we can add the grade for you. So that's all you would let them know. Like, yeah, I can give you the extension. We all confirm, yes, we're good. But just know that they're going to disappear from your queue and they will have to have a certificate of completion to upload for us to give them the grade.
Okay. Okay, that's super helpful, and I'll write that down. My last thing, and by the way, I did message Rachel, but I don't think she's getting my messages either. I was asking if she had questions she wanted me to ask. But my last question is, how different is my CAA versus the credentialing assistance? Like, especially for me when it comes to entering grades, because there's so many different options in my CAA for grades versus the CA. But it's all the same policies, right? 60 days, they pass or not.
I don't know what my CAA policies are because they're a separate program from us. We don't have any interaction really with them. So whatever they do, I mean, that's their policy.
You know what? I really appreciate it. I kind of thought that for a while, but the fact that they're on the same exact page in AI portal made me question that. That is good to know. Thank you. Rachel just messaged me,
Oh, okay.
so maybe I'll actually have a question from her in a moment.
I was going to ask if you still had a few minutes. I just came across an email regarding G. David Brown, which Andrew, I know you had mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
and we're having back and forth about this student. I'm not sure if any of us know what to do with it, with the scenario. It looks like he is trying to do a stackable program, and he has submitted via Army Ignited, and I guess is waiting for us to invoice but it looks like he was enrolled at $0, which I can't invoice off of $0. So there's a little bit of back and forth on our end. But is this something that you can see on your end? I know Teresa was working on stackable programs right before she left. And so I haven't dealt with one yet. It looks like, I'm trying to see if he took executive leadership or performance leadership, but he's adding 3 courses in under our change management certificate. And that's where we're getting stuck.
I'm trying to find out. I'm pulling his account up right now. Maybe I can help out.
And I have an application ID. I don't know if that helps.
What's that?
4893084.
Oh, okay, good. That was deleted.
Okay.
That was deleted. Why did she delete it? Vendor did not, oh, because you didn't create the invoice. Yeah. So it's, when we started with FY25, you all were supposed to start, invoicing, and you did not create an invoice for this specific one. So finance deleted it or rejected it.
So does he need to put in an application again?
Yeah, he will have to start over again. But it's very important that you check the the AI portal, I don't know, at least twice a week, maybe. I don't know how often you can go in there. More is better, but
I didn't realize that I was supposed to be invoicing, and so we had a bunch in there because this is new for me. I've been doing the credit card charges for over a year, but I didn't know that I was supposed to be doing the invoicing, and I'm assuming that's because things shifted around when Teresa left. But so now I'm doing that. I started yesterday, but going forward, so I will let the team know that he will have to resubmit, and then
Yep.
we can hopefully catch this the proper way then coming through. Because like when I'm looking at this now, it shows 3 courses available and 3 courses available to be invoiced. And so I'll go in there today and do that invoicing. But I will go ahead and let them know to have him resubmit.
yeah. And I did add the slides to the chat that has all the steps on how you create invoices. This process just took place probably after she left.
Oh,
we
okay.
started this back in, so I don't know who's attending the vendor info sessions, but it would be important that you do attend these sessions to get all of the information, that new information that comes out.
How often do they happen, or how do we get notified of them?
Yeah, every month we have, 2. So our next one is in December. So Russell, can you make sure to get their email addresses to Dottie to add to the emails?
Copy that.
Thank you. Then you'll start getting notification of when our next, info sessions are. And also make sure you have the correct point of contact in our approved vendor list. So whoever Soldier should be contacting, that's the email we need to update in our approved vendor list and in the AI portal.
Okay.
Let me
Which
look
I'm
to
not
see what
exactly
you need.
sure who's listed in there.
Yeah, so right now for the AI portal, we have, we have Kara Groves, Teresa Duncan, Eden Imperial, Lisa, I can't even say that last name, and then and then Shannon Heffron. That's who
Okay.
we have. So you just need to update. You can have her account removed. I don't know who the actual let's do this. And who will be in charge of who's taking this over, really? I guess that's the question.
That is a great question. And
Well,
I feel like it's either Lisa or Shannon, but I'm not exactly sure which one.
okay, so whoever is the UAC, that is the one that created this account from the get-go. I don't know who that is. I can't see who it is. So you'll have to ask which one, who created it.
Okay.
And if it's not Teresa, I don't think it's Teresa
May have
that
been
created
Tara.
it. Yeah. If she still wants to remain the UAC, then so be it. But she can add people into your accounts. She can update and delete people out. So like Teresa Duncan should already be deleted out of this account because it still appears.
Okay.
But if she doesn't want to, you just submit a help desk ticket and say, I want to be the UAC for eCornell's CA account.
Okay.
And they will change that for you. The help desk will.
All right. But if the UAC just wants to change the contact information in there, that she doesn't have to contact the help desk for, she can do that herself.
Yeah, whoever the UAC is can turn off their account basically.
Okay. Okay. And Andrew, did you say Rachel had some questions?
All I got from her was, "Is this sending?" And I said yes, and that's the last I heard from her. So unfortunately, I don't know. I have been trying to download the slides that Sophia that you put in the in the chat, but I can't access them for some reason.
Okay, no problem. We'll let me see. We'll have to send you slides.
Oh, it needs a login.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, no problem.
and when I tried to just download it, it wouldn't let me.
Andrew, what is your email?
AR686@cornell.edu.
Heather, did you want me to add you as well?
Yeah, that would be great. And actually send it to our accounting inbox. It's EC, so Echo Charlie _ accounting @cornell.edu.
Andrew, I'm adding you as a POC and on the approved vendor list as well. I've already got Heather's information and Rachel's information. I just need your last name.
Rizos. I'm trying to remember what R is. I'm so sorry. Romeo. There you go. God, I knew the alphabet once. Anyways, but RIZ as in Zulu, OS as in Sierra.
Copy that. Thank you.
Jesus, sorry. I'm embarrassed.
We do have one other student that has been hanging on out there for quite some time. His name is Jonathan Rue. Last name is spelled RHEW. And it's been since April, I think. He has a credit that he was going to get back to us regarding what courses he was taking. And Teresa always said that he was always out and very hard to reach and could never get him pinned down on what courses he was going to take to fill in those credits. So I don't know, since it's been out there for so long and no one has been able to get in contact with him, is this something that we just issue the refund for, or?
Oh, it's already paid.
Yes.
Spell his last name again, please.
Rue, RHEW. First name Jonathan.
Looks like all his stuff is completed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure enough. And the grades were entered by Duncan. So Teresa entered the grades on these. So maybe, yep, maybe he already took the classes. I don't know.
I'll dig deeper.
That's what it's saying here.
Okay. Let me see. Because I know that students sometimes take more than one program. And now, are you showing that that's one from April?
The last one was start date of 11/30/23.
Okay.
That was the start date. Yeah, that was the latest. Nothing in April.
Okay. Let me go in.
I'm looking at his record, or, at his record over here.
Mhm.
He completed compensation studies in April of this year, if that helps anyone.
Okay.
So those two in April, or there was one in April 2023 for the compensation that was deleted. It was rejected. But nothing for 2024.
Okay. I'm just seeing if I have more details on the credit memo that we have. Give me one moment.
I have to say, I'm really curious. So are you saying that compensation studies was rejected? Like, in the sense of it was not paid for, it was not, he was not okay with it?
No. He took it.
Mhm.
It was paid for. He just submitted it a couple of times. She said April, so I was looking at April. And I see one that has a start date of April, but that one was rejected. So it never went through. So the ones that he did do finally went through in November of 2023. November 30th, 2023 is when it started.
So I'm showing 2 courses from compensation studies that we are showing a credit for. And Andrew, I don't know if you can see if there was anything dropped that didn't get transferred, or, it just was a drop of a course. And so that's why we have a credit. The other one is one course from Strategic Human Resources Leadership.
He's
And
got a
both
pretty
of these were credit in April of this year.
I see he had 3 courses dropped in April of this year, but I'm not sure what program that's for. It's like just trying to piece a puzzle together.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
I'm going to guess that that's these 3, 2 under compensation studies and 1 under strategic human resources leadership.
So just looking at the names of the courses, that sounds right.
Okay.
Guys, I apologize, but our meeting's probably going to cut off here in a second. I don't want you to get cut off mid-thought because of the time frame. But are there any last questions or anything you might have before we go, or did we get you guys off to a good start so far?
This has definitely been helpful.
Okay.
Me too,
Awesome.
definitely.
What I'm going to do is I will take the video and I'll save it onto the YouTube, and then I'll send you guys the link for it so that you will have the link for the video today.
Perfect. Now, since that has student names in it, will that be an issue?
Well, unless you'll be able to get back into the chat and pull the video, they should be able to do that, right, Sophia?
Okay, it's not on anything public.
Well, it would be on our closed YouTube site, but I can, yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, then what I will do is I will go ahead and stop the recording here.
Sounds good.